I don't own a lot of sneakers. I have a pair of Stan Smith that I don't particularly wear anymore. For running, gym, and all that, I have a pair of Ultra Boost, but that's not a fashion thing. So I've been having this strange indifference towards sneakers for a year now. So I've been wearing a lot of my boots, a lot of my Crocs. Recently, I got these two amazing sneakers, the Balenciaga Triple S and the Owens Geobasket. Kind of bought those to please my younger self. Hopefully you have seen those videos. If you haven't, they're some of my best videos thus far in my YouTube career. Please go have a watch on that. So today I want to do a quick comparison video. I mean, look, okay, to most people, it's a fairly easy choice. The Geobasket has stood the test of time. The Triple S has not held up well. It has been forgotten. However, if you are like me and you don't really care about trends, you don't really care what's in or out, you genuinely think that these two silhouettes are great looking. Okay, so I would like to start with design or originality. So for this segment, it's very subjective. Let's talk about the good of each pair first. Geobasket. I love the big tongue, the oversized nature of the sneakers, the zipper, especially the zipper. Now look, it's not new for a designer to put zippers on high top, but Rick Owens was one of the first. He was one of the first to do it. And if you were to look at a pair like Converse or any Nike or Adidas product, most of their high tops, they don't have it. It's really convenient because with high top, my problem with high tops has always been the need to untie and retie the sneakers whenever you want to get in and out. Otherwise, it's going to be too loose or you won't be too comfortable when you walk. So the zipper negates all that. So I love that features. The big tongue, super unique. One of the things that I had trouble with a couple months back was the choice between the Ramones or the Geobasket, and the tongue really sold me because the Ramones, they're unique, but they're fairly you can find other sneakers that look like the Ramones, but Geobasket, you really can't find a Geobasket anywhere. The four collar, the padding collared on the back, I really like that. If it were to be one blank block, I think it would have been rather boring. All of these small features really separate these shoes from every other shoe. So now with the Triple S, you get the triple soles, the sizing on the toe cap, the unique lacing system, and an extra lacing system, mainly for the look, but you can lace through them if you want. I don't personally think it's good. I still think it's incredibly innovative for Demna and the team and David specifically to put the sizing on the toe cap. With the Triple S, the soles are the thing that drew everyone's attention to the sneaker, but for me, it has always been the sizing. It's so subversive. Like the sizing, designer are kind of a bit embarrassed of it because it's just more for information dump, so they try to hide it inside the sneakers. But then Demna and David was like, you know what, we're gonna subvert that, we're gonna put it out. I've been into high fashion for a few years now, so the chunky soles that haven't been that new to me. You know, Coleman has done that for years, Rick has done that for years. It's new to the sneakerheads world because, you know, with sneakerheads, you tend to wear these shoes with a lot of technology, so they try to go as light as possible. And when you put the triple sole, the weight increases significantly. But I will give them props still for the triple sole because it is unique. Like, it drew my attention, obviously, but if you were to ask me, hey, what's your favorite feature on the Triple S? I would say the sizing. Although it's so minute, I love that detail so much. So those are just some of the unique features. Obviously, there are more unique features, but again, it's the main inspiration for these two sneakers were from, like, you know, athletic sneakers. As far as my opinion goes, though, I will have to give the Geobasket the point here because of the big tongue. Although the triple soles are unique, I prefer the big tongue. I think the big tongue makes it stand out more for me. Again, it's a very subjective thing. I provided you with an objective point of view earlier, but now it's just very subjective, is what MAKASY sees. This is the most important category, comfort. And with sneakers, you need a different metric to measure these than with the likes of Tabby, Guidi, all those boots, because these two sneakers, they have to fight with other really comfortable sneakers from the likes of Nike, New Balance, Puma, Reebok, Adidas. So before we continue, I have flat feet and wide feet. So, okay, let's put it this way. If a regular person and me were to wear the same sneakers, I would get tired around the 5 hour mark. But a regular person would get tired around the 7, 8, 9 hours because my feet are flat. So you need a bit of arch. With regard to longevity, I can wear the Triple S for far longer than the Geobasket. I believe I can wear it for 12 hours without feeling any pain. The Triple S, they has air bubble, EVA, and TPU, whereas the Geobasket, it's 100% TPU. I really enjoyed the softness of the air bubble and the EVA. The TPU is just this really hard material. It's good for shock resistant, bad for comfort. EVA is far superior, but TPU is cheaper and it's easier to mold, to use than EVA, and it also costs less damage to the environment. So I understand why Rick and the team chose TPU, because if you're not familiar, EVA, it's made from crude oil. So for this segment, I will have to give a point to the Triple S because TPU, we'll get into like how bad it is too with regard to heel drag and all that, but the Triple S gets a point here for comfort. Okay, materials. So we're gonna work our way from the bottom to the top. So Geobasket first, 100% TPU. Again, I'm not a big fan. It's not that good. With the Triple S, it's a blend of TPU, EVA, and the air bubble. So Triple S gets a point here. However, when we move to the upper, Geobasket has 4-grain calf leather and suede, whereas the Triple S is just a bunch of these cheap material like foam, mesh, cotton, polyester. With Triple S, like, okay, I'm gonna put up some photo right now. With the Triple S, there's a higher chance of rips and hole happening because of the cheap material. With the Geobasket, it's leather, it's suede, it's very high quality. Rick and the team, they just need to go back to EVA base also. You can blend them with a TPU. You don't have to go 100% EVA. Blend them like the Triple S. Put some air bubble in there. Better for comfort, better for longevity. With 100% TPU, if you've seen my other video, like the heel drag, it's insane. I wore it for a month and the heel drag was already so bad to the point where I need to buy a heel drag protectors. Ease of entrance and exit. Most of the time when I wear my sneakers, they're competing with my Crocs as well. So if I'm in a hurry, I want to be as easy as possible. With the Geobasket, the zipper really negates the need to untie, retie with most high tops, so it's great. And you know, the conventional thinking would have you believe that the Triple S is easier. However, the zipper, again, the zipper on the Geobasket, they negate that. It's a lot faster for me to wear my Geobasket and get out the house. With the Triple S, the holes are so big, I really have to tie my laces super tight. So when I take my feet out, I have to untie, put my feet in, and then retie to really tight. So I will give 1 point to the Geobasket here, the zipper. I cannot say enough good thing about the zippers. Alright, so wait, if you ever noticed, these sneakers, they're very big, they're very large, so they're heavy. So to be specific, Geobasket weigh around 3.44 pounds, and the Triple S weigh around 3.9 pounds. So 1 point for the Geobasket here. The insoles that come with these two sneakers, both are equally terrible, but I will give the Geobasket a point because it's leather insoles, where this Triple S is just, it's the same quality as the Nike and Adidas. Let's talk prices now. We're gonna talk retail and the secondary market. So retail for the Geobasket is $1,160, with the Triple S retail at $1,150. $10 differences, I wouldn't really count that. It just, okay, I would understand the hesitation if it were to be Geobasket, $1,300, Triple S, $1,000. So the $300, I would understand the hesitation better. And on the secondary market, it's very different. So Geobasket has held up nicely with time. So for a good condition used pair of Geobasket, you can find them for roughly 700 to 900. With the Triple S, you can find them for 400 to 600. I got mine for 270. The seller gave me a great deal. If you're gonna get a secondary market, I would recommend getting the Triple S because it's cheaper, because of the flooding the market and now the trend thing, and also since the Triple S are pre-dirty from the factory already, I really have a hard time distinguishing between the dirt from the previous owner and the dirt from the factory. Integration. So what I mean by integration is how easy is it to insert these sneakers into your closet? How well does the sneaker look with different cuts of trousers? For me personally, Geobasket wins because both of these sneakers, they look great with straight and wide and flare. The judgment really comes down to how these sneakers look with skinny. And I personally believe that Triple S does not look good with skinny jeans. And Geobasket, they don't look great either, but they look better than the Triple S. But again, this topic is very subjective. Breaking in phase. So there is this misconception about the Geobasket, the mainline Geobasket. Since it's leather, you have to break it in. I personally don't agree to this. Let's take my opinion. Let's be as subjective as possible. The materials of the Triple S, requires no breaking in. With leather, you have to break it in. So I would give 1 point to the Triple S here. Longevity, it's a bit complicated, so we're going to talk the bottoms down. Again, you saw the condition of the TPU outsoles on the Geobasket, so that's 1 point to the Triple S. However, the Triple S upper, they are more prone to cuts and holes. They're the same material as your regular running sneakers. You've owned these running sneakers, you know that they're prone to cuts and holes, and I'm sure the photo has been up a few times now. And you know, with leather on the Geobasket, the upper, they're gonna hold up so much better. I will give half a point to the Triple S, and I will give 1 whole point. I don't know how to give points here. Let's just not give them any points because they both have flaws. Intangible. What I mean by intangible is, how does this pair of sneakers make you feel? Similar to how some food remind you of your childhood, a smell can remind you of a person, a location can remind you of like middle school, high school, a pair of shoes that remind you of something that you can draw emotional attachment to. I think that is something intangible that we must put into the equation of like deciding between two sneakers. So I have emotional attachment to both of these sneakers. The Triple S I wanted when I was in college, the Geobasket I wanted when I was in high school. If I were to compare the Geobasket to the Stan Smith stands no chance. I have no emotional attachment to that sneakers, but Geobasket, I remember yearning for these sneakers for so long. And what was that, 2014? So 6 years, 9 years now. 9 years after I found out about these sneakers that I got to own it. So I have that emotional connection. Every time I wear the Geobasket, it reminds me of what it was like to go to high school, to wake up at 7:30 and walk to school, and you know, with my crush and friends and all that in high school. You know, it brings back all these bad and good memories. So, but I tend to focus on the good memories. I ignore the bad part. Hopefully you do too. But do you know what I mean though? Like, we have emotional connection to these things. They're intangible. It's hard to quantify them, but it must be included in the equation. All right, so let's put the points on the board now. So those are my points, by the way. This video, you can be objective, but we all have our biases. Some of the category that were a bit more clear cut, you know, with the comfort, but with the material it's a bit confusing because the upper and the lower, blah blah blah. But the point is, you know, I pointed out all these pros and cons for both of these sneakers, so use that information to inform your next purchases. Though the Geobasket got more points for me. If you were to ask me right now, MAKASY, you can only keep 1 pair. I would honestly keep the Triple S because of how comfortable they are compared to the Geobasket. Anyway, you know, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully this video helps you out if you have to make a decision between the Triple S and a Geobasket. I don't think you do because, you know, again, there are more hardcore Rick Owens fans. The Triple S has fallen out of trend. Not a lot of people like them anymore. They see them as an item in the past, but not for me though. I love the silhouette from day one, and I still do to this day. I love how beautiful they look. I never considered them to be ugly sneakers. I've always thought that they were just chunky sneakers that were very well made and well thought out. So thank you to Demna and David. Love the sneakers. Thank you very much for that creation. Geobasket, love it. Love it. I love Rick Owens. I mean, if you can't tell, most of my videos are about Rick Owens. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. My name is MAKASY. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.